Finally, West Virginia is moving in the right direction. As your West Virginia Senate President, Craig Blair has passed the most conservative legislative agenda in the nation. He has fought for our values like banning elective abortions, protecting our Second Amendment rights, and prevented boys from playing in girls' sports. Senator Craig Blair championed the largest tax cut in the history of our state. Craig Blair, a strong conservative leader. Promises made, promises kept. This election, vote for Republican Craig Blair for State Senate. Paid for by the committee to re-elect Craig Blair.
It's time for the excitement of NCAA Division II basketball featuring the Shepherd University Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's game is sponsored by
Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, Rocks, the Dutch Miller Auto Group, the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, the Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Brown's Funeral Homes and Cremations, CMA Honda, Craig Blair for State Senate, Orsini's Home Store, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, the Berkeley County Health Department, Hagerstown Ford, Smallwood and Small Insurance, Modern Realty Results, Ollie's, The Palace Lounge, Bechtel Jewelers, Cody's Auto Body, WVU Medicine, Gary Kelly Allstate Insurance, and the Mountaineer Grill and Pub.
Now let's send it out to the Butcher Athletic Center on the campus of Shepherd University and join our TV10 broadcast crew for the game.
We welcome you back to the Butcher Center here. Shepherd men's basketball just about ready to get started between the Rams and the California Vulcans. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Dylan Bishop, as we get set for Shepherd Rams men's basketball here. Don't really have a countdown to tip off, but that is brought to you by Parsons Ford, located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons, as we get ready for these starting lineups to be announced. But Dylan, Cal, Shepherd, again, it's a tough matchup, but the Rams yesterday had a chance against Seton Hill and came up short. 72-66 loss for Shepherd.
Yeah, it just seemed like yesterday Shepherd, in the second half, Seton Hill's zone defense locked in a little more, and they didn't give Shepherd as many of those open looks in the second half, and you weren't able to get many shots or many open looks for guys, like Carson Poffenberger, like Michael Cooper, Marcus Banks, those guys that don't really create shots on their own off the dribble like Daniel McClain-Corley and Philip Jordan can. So they only got 6 total points from those guys in the second half, and that ended up being the difference.
Lineups being announced here currently, but Shepherd now dropping to 3-3 on the year, Dylan, which is where they've kind of been the last few years, around that 500 mark. And as they try to get over 500, a win today against a team that is very talented in Cal would be a big one.
Absolutely. Cal has been one of the best teams in the PSAC. Another part of that tough PSAC West that we talk about on the men's side. And I think this will be probably a tougher match for them today than yesterday it was. But we'll see. Sometimes Shepherd is able to pull out those upset victories. We saw it last year when East Stroudsburg came to the Butcher Center. They had got a big game from D.C., and he was able to carry them to the upset. And hey, the women's team just barely lost to Cal in a game that we thought was not going to be very close at all. So who knows what we're in for today.
That's fair. I mean, you never really know what to expect when you get PSAC basketball, and, of course, Rams coming out here looking to get the win. But let's go over our starting lineups. We'll start with the visitors, California, Pennsylvania. Starting for them at guard, a 6'5 senior from Baltimore, Maryland, Jermaine Hall. At forward, a 6'6 sophomore from Clarksburg, West Virginia, Bryson Lucas. At guard, a 6'4 redshirt senior, number 3, Zion Collins. And rounding out a guard, a 6'3" sophomore from Morgantown, West Virginia, University High School product in KJ McClurg. And rounding out the lineup from Pennsylvania, number 13, Donald Whitehead Jr., a 5'10" guard. For Shepherd, it looks like it's the same lineup I believe we saw yesterday. Daniel McLean Corley out there with Philip Jordan, as well as Stephon Marcel, Carson Poffenberger, and
Michael Cooper.
Okay, so Shepherd keeping that kind of lineup out there. These gray uniforms, a little bit tough to read some numbers, but good thing is it's basketball, not football, so I can see faces. As the Rams come out here in the circle, and we get ready for tip between Shepherd and California, Pennsylvania. In the circle there is Lucas and Marcel, and the tip is won by Cal, and we are underway here from the Butcher Center. Driving in there is McClurg. Kick it out to Hall for three, and he buries it to start the game. 3-0. Cal on top.
Yesterday we saw Seton Hill was having a tough time from three. It looks like Cal, opening it up early from downtown, might be a better shooting team from out there. It'll be something that Shepherd needs to watch out for.
Foul underneath as Marcel and Hall were fighting for positioning. And Hall, the one hit with the foul. So Rams taking underneath. Poffenberger. They're going to get it into McLean Corley, but it's a turnover. And now basketball going to Cal. So first half here just getting started between Cal and Shepherd. 19:22 to go in the first half. It's 3-0. Vulcans on top. McClurg swings it over to his fellow West Virginian Lucas, and he is called for a travel. So Shepherd takes back over with the possession.
You got to be careful with that step when you try to start your dribble drive.
A few guys from the Morgantown area in this game. Poffenberger as well as Lucas on the Cal side, and also Brody Davis on the Shepherd side. And
I think both teams have two guys from Morgantown.
McClurg and Goins as well. Yeah, so of course Clarksburg not too far either. McLean Corley with the fadeaway J, and that one falls. Shepherd on the board now for the first time today at 3-2. 18:45 to go in the opening half.
DC had himself a good game yesterday. Only 6-17 from the field, 18 points overall, though.
Lucas with the strong drive to the rim. He lays it up and in. And California has a 5-2 lead over the Rams.
Some tough shot making from Cal so far.
Philip Jordan with the basketball. Trying to run something offensively. 13 on the shot clock. Jordan pulls up for three on the contested shot. Misses it, but gets his own rebound and comes up short. Poffenberger grabs the rebound and a foul underneath. The Rams will take over with the basketball.
Like we said, DC and PJ are really the two guys on this team that are able to create offense off the dribble. PJ didn't get those to go that time, but he's going to keep shooting those, and he should. And hopefully you think that those two guys off the dribble, the defense focuses on them, eventually the open shots will come for guys like Marcel and Poffenberger and Cooper.
Yeah, I mean, they need to be their main offensive contributors, but they have other guys that can step up from time to time. As McLean Corley's shot is off the mark and no good. Rebounded by California. Here's a three-pointer from Hall, and he's good again from that same spot on the left side of on the left wing, and it's now 8-2.
There's only so much you can do about a guy that can make contested shots like that. Eventually, you might just have to try to avoid him getting the ball at all at that part of the court.
Poffenberger tries to post up, kicks it out to Cooper. He'll try a three, and Cooper's shot is too strong, no good. Rebounded by Stephon Marcel. Rams keep the possession here. Philip Jordan driving into the basket, kicks it out. Poffenberger's shot is rejected by Lucas.
It's a much different defense than what Shepherd saw yesterday with the 3-2 zone of Seton Hill, where Michael Cooper saw himself get 3 wide open looks in the corner from 3, and this, today he takes an early contested 3 as Cal plays man-to-man.
Jordan off the screen from Marcel. They go into the low block. Marcel head fake, doesn't get the shot off. It will be a shot clock violation. Yeah, it's a man-to-man look for the Cal defense, and they are very quick to the basketball. And so far it's given the Rams some issues. Coach Namlick mentioned on the Sports Mix on Thursday how Shepherd has had some issues with the zone. Here's a three-pointer from the wing off the mark, rebounded by Phillip Jordan. Jordan attacks, kicks out. Cooper for 3, that's short, no good. Rebounded by the Vulcans. Running the floor now is McClurg, and his shot is up and good. 10-2, California on top of Shepherd here in the early going. 16:40 to go in this first half.
Those long misses on three-pointers can lead to some transition offense, so you got to be careful. You got to try to get the ball inside a little more, like that.
Poffenberger's shot no good, rebounded by Marcel. His follow no good, but he is fouled, and he'll shoot 2. Marcel,
that's what he does. He's a guy that can get you rebounds, put the ball back up and inside. He had a tough day shooting the ball yesterday, 2 of 7 overall, but he got himself to the free throw line a little bit. He had 6 rebounds yesterday.
Our opening tip was brought to you by the Skinner Law Firm. Accident injury lawyers representing accident injury claims for over 50 years. Go to SkinnerWins.com. Our first half is presented to you by TV10, or presented to you on TV10 by the Brown Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons. Family-owned full-service funeral home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson, proudly serving our area since 1880, as well as CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA moving lives forward. 10-4. Cal on top of Shepherd after the 2 Marcel free throws. Both fall. Hall with an open look for 3, but passes on it.
Surprised he didn't take it.
He's hit both of them so far. So
the length of Poffenberger seemed to scare him off from taking it.
There's a drive in and a dish down to Collins, and Collins lays it up and in. And so far, California getting a lot of stuff underneath and from the outside, really whatever they want offensively, Dylan.
Yep, really good offense so far from Cal. Making tough shots outside and converting it into inside shots. When you have to guard guys closer from the three-point range, it makes you more liable to, give up that inside shot.
Under 16 media timeout. We'll take a 30-second break. It is California 12, Shepherd 4. This is Shepherd Rams men's basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 30 seconds.
Finally, West Virginia is moving in the right direction. As your West Virginia Senate President, Craig Blair has passed the most conservative legislative agenda in the nation. He has fought for our values like banning elective abortions, protecting our Second Amendment rights, and prevented boys from playing in girls' sports. Senator Craig Blair championed the largest tax cut in the history of our state. Craig Blair, a strong conservative leader. Promises made, promises kept. This election, vote for Republican Craig Blair for State Senate. Paid for by the committee to re-elect Craig Blair.
We welcome you back to the Butcher Center here in Shepherdstown, West Virginia, Shepherd University. The Rams trailing California, Pennsylvania, 12-4 here in their second PSAC game. Shepherd coming off of a tough 6-point loss last night to Seton Hill, 72-66. Dropped the record to 3-3, and so far, Dylan, it's been a hot start for California.
Yeah, they've just opened up doing really well on the offensive end of the floor, and the defense hasn't been much worse, only giving up 4 points to Shepherd, only 1 field goal on the contest so far.
Nick Versleen, Dylan Bishop, as well as Aiden Sensabaugh sticking around for game 2. Certainly appreciate Aiden's help here today. And Colin McLaughlin back in the studio, doing a good job as always, keeping us on the air and on YouTube. 12-4 our score. Shepherd trailing Cal, but in possession. Poffenberger down on the block. Good move to the basket, and he finishes. Cut the lead in half now at 12-6 with 15:25 to go in this opening half.
Now, early on in his career, Poffenberger seemed like a guy that was really just a taller wing who could shoot from outside, but he needs to be able to use his 6'8", 229 frame to get inside like that for this team to have success.
Copeland for three. That's no good. Robinson can't secure the defensive rebound, and California will keep possession. So 12-6, Cal on top of Shepherd. Just over 15 minutes to go in the opening half. And 15 seconds to go on the shot clock as Cal works it around the perimeter into the hands of Hall. His contested shot is in and out, no good. But another offensive rebound. That one no good, but the third or fourth shot on the possession ends up falling for California.
Remember I said Poffenberger needs to use his size. He didn't box out either time and let Cal get those two offensive rebounds.
So Arnett able to put it up and in, 14-6. McLean Corley with the deep three. That's in and out, no good. Rebounded by McClurg. Three-pointer from Hall, quickly back the other way, and he buries it again from downtown, 17-6.
And he is a sharp shooter. Already 3 threes already.
Philip Jordan off the Poffenberger slip screen. Working in and out, goes into the lane with the reverse layup, and they're calling him for the travel.
Oh, it's tough.
Thought maybe he was bumped on his way up, but not the result. Jordan will head to the bench as well as Poffenberger. Marcel will check back in, and we'll see the freshman Marcus Banks, who's shown some flashes of potential for the Rams early in the season. Had a tough game yesterday against Seton Hill, where maybe just a little bit outmatched against a veteran team, but has shown some great potential here so far, Dylan.
Yeah, him and Cooper, the two freshmen, have really stepped up into roles that the Rams have needed to after losing John Preston and Aiden Hewley for this.
Copeland's shot no good. Marcel secures the rebound. Here's Banks off the Marcel screen. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebounded by the Vulcans. Quickly now Arnett in transition with the Euro step move, and it's no good, but he got fouled on his way up, and he'll shoot two. Antoine Arnett, the 6'6" redshirt freshman from Somerdale, New Jersey.
And Cal just getting up and down the floor, doing really well on both ends.
Yeah, I mean, Shepherd only has 6 points here in the first 6.5 minutes into the game.
They haven't been able to find any easy baskets for anybody. And those tough contested shots for McLean Corley and Jordan haven't fallen yet.
Yeah, and now McLean Corley's going to get his very quick first half rest into the rotation as Jordan comes back in for him. And, I mean, something noteworthy here, Shepherd's cut down its lineup to about 7 guys. Brody Davis dealing with an injury. He was probably the 8th guy that would still be getting some playing time at this point in the year.
And then also, as you mentioned, over the summer, Aiden Hewley tore his ACL.
Yeah, so maybe 9-man rotation if everybody was healthy, but instead it's down to 7, and they haven't found anybody else to work their way in. As this one apparently not out of bounds, looked like, according to Cal, that they wanted it to be at least, or thought it should have been called out, but instead it's Shepherd possession. Here's Banks off the dribble drive with 6 on the shot clock. That shot is no good. Rebounded by California. Nice move on the other end from Hall, so not just a shooter as he carves up the Rams defense and heads to the line.
Yeah, he's looked really good in his first 7 minutes of this game. Obviously, he's made all those threes, but now he's leading the break, get out and transition. And he's got a chance to get himself in double digits already.
18-6. California leading Shepherd in 2 free throws here for Jermaine Hall Jr. Knocks down the first. Big cheer from the bench.
Well, that was his 10th point. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not, but
yeah, I mean, it seemed like it had something to do with it, but not certain exactly what it was. Jordan off the screen over to Banks. Jordan to the rack. No good. In and out. Marcel with the follow, and that's up and good. Stephon Marcel gets it to go. 19-8 now our score.
Difficult shot from Jordan. I would have thought that one would have fallen though, but it's what Marcel needs to do more of. Get those offensive boards. That's how he can get his points.
Working it around the perimeter is California. Off the dribble drive goes Collins. Shot is no good. Rebounded by Robinson. Philip Jordan will now try to bring it across the timeline and get the Rams going. Banks in the corner. Robinson, Shepherd with very little offense here early on. Just 8 points, 8 minutes in. Step back three from Cooper is good, and it's 19-11. That might be what Shepherd needed to get him going. They're still only down 8 now.
Yeah, he missed his first couple. If he can get hot.
McClurg, a tough-looking shot there. No good. Rebounded by Philip Jordan. Jordan looking to work in transition for the Rams off the Marcel screen. Robinson, a deep three from the wing. That's off the mark. Offensive rebound, Cooper, as it's tipped out. And now PJ will reset. Step back three on the way. Just off. Almost fell. As I said, it was off. And
if it didn't bounce twice, Robinson probably would have gotten that rebound.
And now here goes California the other way. Here's a three-pointer from Whitehead. That is short, no good. He gets his own rebound, puts it back up, no good, and tipped into the hands of Robinson.
This Cal lineup doesn't really have the size to match up with Stephon Marcel down low.
Got him a few good looks on the block. Here he is going into the post. Good head fake and a good layup. Dylan Bishop.
There we go.
All the offense, young man. 19-13.
You got to get those points where you can from guys outside of Jordan and McLean Corley. Find your opportunities wherever you can get them.
Yeah, I mean, Marcel had some opportunities yesterday, couldn't get him to fall. Here's a drive in and a good layup there from Zion Collins. 21-13, California extending the lead back out to 8 with 10:25 to go in this first half. McLean Corley getting ready to check back in for the Rams with the next stoppage of play. Jordan with the dribble drive in. Down low, Marcel again, and Marcel again with the bucket.
Yeah, they doubled Jordan off the screen, and they left Marcel open there.
21-15 our score. Shepherd trails by 6 to California. McClurg into the corner. Kick it out to Hall. And then Collins lost control of it. Banks in transition with the Euro step. Nice. Down to Jordan in the layup.
Great pass by Banks.
21-17. Shepherd just down 4.
Great basketball IQ from the freshman.
Arnett over to McClurg. Now back up top. Collins is 3 on the way, and it's good. Zion Collins from way downtown extends the lead back out to 7 as we approach under 10 minutes to go. Coming up on 9 minutes to play in this one. It's 24-17 in this first half. California on top of Shepherd. Philip Jordan with the fake dribble handoff, and he'll reset the offense. 10 on the shot clock. Jordan
cooking.
Goes up for the mid-range. It's way off and rebounded by Hall.
I wanted the drive there.
Fast break from McClurg, and he is fouled by Jordan hard into the basket. Philip Jordan immediately goes to help him back up. We should have the under-12 media timeout here momentarily at 24-17. They're discussing this foul as it was a hard one.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was intentional. I think he did make enough of an effort to go toward the ball. That is the third foul on Philip Jordan, or do they just not update the player in the foul yet?
I'm not sure they did. I think it was the first foul on Cooper last time.
Okay. Well, we will take a 30-second break with the timeout. 24-17. California leading Shepherd. This is Shepherd Rams men's basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Here's number 2. We welcome you back here to the Butcher Center. 24-17, our score. California leading Shepherd. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Dylan Bishop. Under 9 minutes to play in this first half. And should be free throws. I believe that's the second foul on Jordan, even though on the scoreboard it says number 2, but I don't think it was called on Banks because Jordan was the one down there. Yeah, there we go. Heard it from the PA announcer, foul on Philip Jordan. That is his second. And now McClurg will shoot 2. It's up, and the first one's good. 25-17.
There you go. They finally got an updated first foul on Philip Jordan.
Now it should be 26-17 as both free throws are up and good. And now we're all good on the scoreboard. So Philip Jordan with the basketball, and that was his first, as you mentioned, Dylan, not his second. So good correction there. Jordan into the lane, kick it out to Banks. Over to Poffenberger for 3. That's no good. Too strong, and rebounded by McClurg. Here's Slaughter with the basketball. Dribble handoff over to Arnett. Now swinging into McClurg's hands. 10 on the shot clock. Arnett into the lane. His shot no good. Tipped around and rebounded by Philip Jordan. So 26-17 our score. Shepherd with the basketball. Now 8 minutes to go in this first half. Jordan off the Poffenberger screen. Drives into the lane. Fadeaway shot is good. Silky smooth there from Philip Jordan as he knocks down the J. Makes it a 7-point game.
They got the switch on the screen, and I liked that matchup that he had. And he used it to his advantage.
Here's Hall, top of the key, 3 on the way, short, rebounded by Stefan Marcel, and the Rams have numbers. Jordan into the lane, kicks it out, offensive foul.
Yeah.
McLean Corley's shot was no good anyway, but the offensive foul going against Philip Jordan is that will be now his second. And we have the under 8 media timeout. 30-second break. 26-19, California on top of Shepherd here in this first half. This is Shepherd Rams men's basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Lori.
And I'm Dave. It's hard to believe, but Bechtel Jewelers is going out of business. Before we close, you can save up to 80% off our entire inventory of gold, diamonds, watches, even unique estate jewelry.
Everything in our inventory must go. And now we've taken deeper discounts store-wide. So help Santa out early this year and visit Bechtel Jewelers before it's too late.
Shepherd trailing California, Pennsylvania here in the Butcher Center, 26-19. With 7:33 to go in this first half. Nick Verzolini, Dylan Bishop, happy to have you with us for Shepherd Rams men's basketball. The Rams, Dylan, got down early. It was kind of looked like it was going to be a dominating performance from Cal. They've gotten back into it, but still down by 7 here.
Shepherd, I think, has gotten to some better shots as the first half has gone on. They haven't quite been able to lock down on defense on the other side to get this lead back down. And I think that can come. This is more of a team that's known for its defense more so than anything. But this is a tough Cal offense that they're going against. They make some tough shots.
Slaughter brings the ball into the front court for California. Here's Hall at the top of the key. McClurg, nice head fake. Pulls up on the floater, and that's good. Difficult shot for KJ McClurg.
is an example of it. You can play good defense, but so far it's been better offense.
So California getting 3 kids from the state of West Virginia to come there and using them here against the Shepherd Rams. There's a travel going against Marcus Banks, a freshman from Clinton, Maryland. And it's a 9-point lead for California, just under 7 minutes to play in this first half. Here's DJ Slaughter. Seen him run the second team offense at point guard. McClurg again going to work, driving baseline, shot no good, rebounded by Carson Poffenberger. The Morgantown product on the Rams side grabs the rebound off the missed shot from the Morgantown product on the other side, but that's University versus Morgantown, Dylan. It's a big rivalry.
The Mohawk Bowl.
That shot no good, though, from Cooper. And it's California possession here once again. Slaughter working with the basketball at the top of the key. He slings it over to Collins. Back to Hall. Hall working against Poffenberger, and Poffenberger just comes away with the basketball. Let's see if Shepherd can get some consistent offense here in these final 5.5 minutes or so. So far, it doesn't look like it. There's a turnover.
Poffenberger's game is not to dribble the ball a lot.
Dump down to Arnett. He lays it up and in.
Yeah, bad offense leads to bad defense.
30-19.
Poffenberger's a guy that should be a spot-up shooter and a guy that gets the ball down low. You don't want him to be initiating a lot of offense or dribbling the ball around.
Shepherd looks a little bit out of sync with not really getting the ball to McLean Corley as Marcel goes up strong. But Philip Jordan on the bench, McLean Corley not getting touches, and
yeah, they need to get him the ball.
That ends the run there. McClurg, step back, Jay on the way. That's good. KJ McClurg having quite the game for the sophomore. Robinson getting ready to check in. Banks bringing it across the court as the point guard here. So far, Shepherd still hasn't gotten the ball into McLean Corley's hands, but Banks says, don't worry about it. I got it on this possession. Marcus Banks with a good take, 32-23.
And Coach Namlick sees Marcus Banks as the point guard of the future for this team. It's a similar role to what we saw Philip Jordan in as a freshman. Marcus Banks as a freshman.
As part of the separation here from the upper level and the stands fell as it scared everybody, I think.
Yeah, the little gates that they put up at the to separate the top of the bleachers and this upper concourse area fell over.
Luckily, it was nobody falling. That's what I had thought initially. Maybe somebody had fallen, but it was just a gate. So no big deal there. 32-23, under 4.5 minutes to go in this first half. Rams get the possession the ball into the hands of McLean Corley.
Luckily,
passes up.
Luckily, Jack Shaw was there to clean it up. He's always nearby if you're at Shepherd. He's always walking around.
Banks, in and out move. Good take here toward the basket. Shot is up and good. It's 32-25. Rams staying around. Here's McClurg again attacking. Ball goes off the foot of McClurg and Shepherd possession.
Here we go. This is the kind of run that they need. Now we're under 4 minutes.
Yep, under 4, media timeout. 32-25 our score. California leads Shepherd. This is Shepherd Rams men's basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We welcome you back to the Butcher Center here on the campus of Shepherd University. It's California 32, Shepherd 25 here on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Rams getting the possession here out of the media timeout as Dylan, a little bit of a turnaround, a little bit of a run here after looked like California was going to maybe pull away. The Rams have worked their way right back in it. And again, the deficit still not as close as you want it to be, but here's an opportunity to get a little good run here before halftime and keep this thing close.
Right, they haven't really been able to get consistent runs of defense and offense at the same time. They've had stretches of both. We'll see if they can get both at the same time and get back into this.
McLean Corley in possession of it for three, and that's good.
And there you go. That's why you kept saying get the ball into McLean Corley's hands. DC from three, it's a big part of your offense.
Collins trying to attack McLean Corley on the other end. Good defense.
Great.
But an offensive rebound by Arnett into the hands of Hall. Hall over to Whitehead, but he didn't establish himself in bounds when he caught that ball. Yep. And it's a turnover.
Had a foot out of bounds on the sideline as he was setting up to try to catch that pass. Inbounds when he caught it, but not long enough.
So 32-28 with just over 3 minutes to go in the first half. Shepherd only down 4. There's McLean Corley off the catch. Robinson at the screen. McLean Corley trying to go to work for the Shepherd offense. Step back three on the way is too strong. Rebounded by Hall. McClurg back the other way. Good head fake. Drives in, kicks it out. Over to Hall. Hall with the drive in. Back to McClurg in the corner. He'll pull up on the mid-range jumper, and that's good.
I like the defensive rotation there from the Rams. That's just a good shot. There's not much you can do about that.
KJ McClurg's been hitting a lot of those tough shots so far today for the Vulcans. Here's Banks. Trying to get it going. Drives in with the right hand. Tough shot on the way, and Marcus Banks showing his potential offensively with the bucket.
I think Banks has a lot of Phillip Jordan to his game. Like I said, this is the role that Phillip Jordan played as a freshman when Thomas Lang was starting point guard. And there's a similar dynamic here.
McClurg off the screen. And that one taken away by Banks. 2-on-2 fast break. Banks' layup is blocked, but Robinson grabs the rebound and puts it back up and in.
That's why you hustle back. There you go. Good job by Robinson.
And it's a 2-point game here between California and Shepherd. 34-32, 1:35 to go in this first half. McClurg with it on the right wing. Over to Whitehead. Up top. Now Collins with the basketball. Robinson guarding. Collins, step back jumper. No good. Air ball.
Good defense.
I think it was blocked by the Rams. Shepherd going to burn a timeout here with 1:19 to go in the first half. We'll keep it here. Dylan, nice run here for the Rams. 34-32 our score.
Absolutely. The defense is really rounding into form. They're figuring out the Cal offense and where they need to rotate to get to the ball. And then the offense is starting to round into shape, too. Marcus Banks is making some nice, tough shots, difficult shots. And then, you got the ball to McLean Corley for that three-pointer that he made. So it's a nice run that Shepherd has here to end the half. Hopefully you can keep it up for this last minute and 19 so you can go in, at least with that momentum, still down by 2 or perhaps get it tied up or take the lead before then.
Yeah. I mean, and this is with Jordan on the bench. So he's going to be fresh in that second half.
Right, and he's had a pretty good half when he's been out there. It's nice when you can give PJ a little bit more of a rest. Him and McLean Corley play about 35, 36 minutes.
And they haven't had their best offensive games that we've seen at times. I mean, at times they've had some good looks, but really they've been slowed down. It's been the role players stepping up in these last few minutes.
And that's what they need.
Here's Marcel with the basketball. Banks off the McLean Corley screen. McLean Corley with the basketball, just 10 on the shot clock. Clayton Corley's three is short.
He needed to
no
take that
rebound,
earlier.
but almost Cooper getting it.
I don't think he realized how open he was. He was surprised by it. They both defenders went under the screen.
So
or over, I guess.
With the basketball off the Arnett screen. Hall for three. That's been his spot, and he gets it again. 37-32. That left wing for Jermaine Hall has been money all afternoon.
Fourth one of the half.
37-32. Shepherd can pretty much get the last shot. It's about a 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock, if that. 8 seconds to go. Pull up for Banks. No good. Rebounded by California. Now they can get the last second shot. Hall from his spot. Money! Jermaine Hall with his 5th triple of the first half extends the Cal lead out to 8 right before halftime.
It's bad defense. How do you leave him open when he's already made 4 of them?
And most of them have been from that left wing. So tough spot there for the Rams to end the half, and it's 40-32 after a 6-0 run from Cal to end the first half. We will take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll have the halftime show. This is Shepherd Rams men's basketball on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
Finally, West Virginia is moving in the right direction. As your West Virginia Senate President, Craig Blair has passed the most conservative legislative agenda in the nation. He has fought for our values like banning elective abortions, protecting our Second Amendment rights, and prevented boys from playing in girls' sports. Senator Craig Blair championed the largest tax cut in the history of our state. Craig Blair, a strong conservative leader. Promises made, promises kept. This election, vote for Republican Craig Blair for State Senate. Paid for by the committee to re-elect Craig Blair.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
We welcome you back here to the Butcher Center on the campus of Shepherd University. Nick Verzolini, Dylan Bishop here at the half here on the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm halftime show. It's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com. Dylan, here at the half, what were kind of your first half takeaways?
I thought that the Shepherd didn't have the consistency on both ends for much of that half. They started off pretty slow and pretty poor on both ends of the court. It was a quick start, although it was a lot of tough shot making by Cal, and they didn't really get off to a fast start on offense either. And then for the rest of that half, it took them a while to try to get back and claw back into it because they were either getting good offense but then giving up scores, or they weren't giving up the scores and they were finding it hard to get a basket on the other end. And then for, those last few minutes of the half, right before Cal made that run of 2 more three-pointers at the end, they started to find it a little bit. They got it within 1 point, or 2 points, whatever it was. And I think that you're optimistic about the second half. I think trailing by 8 points, it's kind of like what you would expect. Which you say, how much better was Cal than Shepherd in that half? 8 points sounds about right. So I think you can get back into it, though. Marcus Banks had a good half, and I think that's promising. So did Phillip Jordan, and Daniel McLean-Corley didn't take a lot of shots, but he made a solid portion of them. Towards the end of that half, he had that nice three-pointer there, but he's still struggling a little bit. I'd like to see a little more out of Poffenberger if they could, and Michael Cooper. He made one three-pointer, but I think that was it. So, Stephon Marcellus had himself a pretty solid half as well. And I think there's stuff to build on. I think Cal's just a really good team. And, Shepherd's, at the very least, a decent team, but they don't always play like a very good team. They have that potential sometimes, but it just doesn't always happen.
Yeah, Shepherd has got the talent, I feel like, to compete with a lot of these teams in the PSAC. I feel like they can win on any given night. They're never completely outmatched, but just a few things here and there maybe hold them back from being one of the elite teams in the PSAC. Hopefully, as the season goes on, and instead of last year where they lost a lot of these close games, they can start to win these close games that are winnable, and you can see a change in the, how you view the Shepherd Rams in terms of programs in the PSAC.
Yeah, that's what you can hope. It's just sort of been tough for them to have that same level of athlete, really in terms of depth more so than other. They have a couple of guys. This year it's guys like McLean-Corley and Phillip Jordan. But it's always been a tough road for them in the PSAC when it comes to having 3, 4, 5 of those guys like some of these other teams do. And Cal seems to have 3, 4, 5 of those guys. IUP has that. East Stroudsburg has that. So they work well with what they have, but you would hope for more. But for right now, with the group that they have, the injuries that they have as well, they do pretty well for themselves.
Yeah, and injuries have been an issue the last 2 years. The Hewley injury this year certainly hurts quite a bit. But here at the half, Shepherd's still very much in it. At 40-32, we'll take another 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, you'll hear from Colin McLaughlin back in the studio. He'll have some scores from high school football as Martinsburg's bringing home another state championship and some other things that are going on across the world of sports. This is Shepherd Rams men's basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit SkinnerWins.com. We'll treat you like family.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Nothing goes better with football than chicken. From Pee-wee to the big boys to the wing T formation. A hearty meal of 12 pieces for $12 is just what the boys need to be at their best. Oh my, fumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Omaha!
Rock's 12 pieces of chicken, just $12.
Welcome into the And One halftime scoreboard show on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. At the half, it is the California PA Vulcans 40, the Shepherd Rams 32. Let's take a look at around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Minute 50 left in the first half between Mercyhurst and Kutztown. Mercyhurst leads 37-36. Almost at halftime, 7 seconds remaining. It's Millersville leading Slippery Rock 31-26. 4 minutes left in half number 1. It's Gannon leading East Stroudsburg 40-31. 4 minutes remaining in the first half as well. In this one, it is Westchester leading Edinburgh 30-25. 46 seconds left in half number 1. It's Bloomsburg 47, Clarion 40. Halftime between Pitt Johnstown and Mansfield. Pitt Johnstown leads 30-27. Also at halftime, it's Seton Hill leading Shippensburg 31-22. Second half underway, 18.5 minutes remain. It is IUP leading Lock Haven 38-29. And that wraps things up here as there's no other games in action. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference during the postgame will have some final scores for you. High school football, as you heard, Martinsburg wins the state championship at Wheeling Island, the 10th state championship in school history for the football team. They defeat Princeton by a final score of 57-13. So congratulations to the Bulldogs on winning another state championship, the 9th under Dave Walker, 10th in program history. Step aside, take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll send it back to the Butcher Athletic Center for the second half. Again, your halftime score, Cal U 40, Shepherd 32.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna call my parents. Dad, come over. The brisket's done.
The Traeger Connected Experience. Everything you need for epic flavor, and then some.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
Hi, I'm Lori.
And I'm Dave. It's hard to believe, but Bechtel Jewelers is going out of business. Before we close, you can save up to 80% off our entire inventory of gold, diamonds, watches, even unique estate jewelry.
Everything in our inventory must go. And now we've taken deeper discounts store-wide. So help Santa out early this year and visit Bechtel Jewelers before it's too late.
We welcome you back here to the Butcher Center, 40-32 our score. Shepherd trailing California. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Dylan Bishop. Dylan, it's been a good half of basketball. Obviously, tough way to end that first half of your Shepherd. Cal gets that three-pointer right before the buzzer to extend this lead out to 8. What are some things you think both teams could do to try to get the win here in this second half?
I think if you're shepherding to try to find some more easy shots for Daniel McLean-Corley, I think the other guys have been able to find their shots for the most part. And McLean-Corley's been taking a lot of contested shots, more so than anything. So I think that's kind of what they need to do. On the Cal side, I think that, overall they should be pretty happy with what they've done so far. I think that their inside defense probably needs to be a little bit shored up. Marcel's been able to get some stuff inside. You've seen Phillip Jordan and Marcus Banks both be able to dribble the ball into the paint and then find that floater range type of shot, and both Jordan and Banks have made multiple of those. So I think that's probably the area that Cal needs to clamp down on a little more.
All right, 40-32 here at the half, just about ready for the start of this second half. Our second half sponsors here on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to fordofhagerstown.com. As well as Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. 40-32 the score. Final few seconds rolling off of that halftime clock. And we will see how things go in this second half. Pretty competitive first half. Some good things being shown on both sides of the floor. Looks like, according to the possession arrow, that it will be Shepherd basketball.
Now we've gotten ourselves some first half stats now, Nick. I got the scorebook in front of me. That's presented by Bechtel Jewelers. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and roll off at least some stuff here. Brought to you by the Berkeley County Health Department. Prevent, Promote, Protect, offering public, clinical, and environmental services at 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg.
16 points for Jermaine Hall Jr., 10 points for KJ McClure. Those are the guys leading the way for Cal. 10 points at halftime for Stephon Marcel. Marcus Banks with 6, 5 for DMC and Gerard Robinson.
Here's Poffenberger trying to go to the post against McClurg. Leans into him, can't get the shot to go, but ball is going to head off of Cal and be Shepherd possession.
It's a nice start.
In some ways, yeah, you didn't get the shot to go, but you end up getting the ball back, so that works.
Yeah.
Poffenberger off the inbound to McLean-Corley. Will come off the Marcel screen, pick and roll. 15 on the shot clock. Down low to Marcel. To get out, McLean-Corley's three on the way. No good. And a foul being called against California. So Shepherd's going to get a third possession down here underneath the basket.
It's not a bad shot from McLean-Corley there, but still, a three-pointer from, a few feet behind the three-point line. You'd like to see him be able to get something easier than that. But, of course, Cal's going to be focused in on him as he's the Rams' leading scorer. So it's not always going to be easy.
She's getting this ball in. They eventually do find Stephon Marcel. Jordan off the Marcel screen, and it's an offensive foul called on Marcel. Go ahead and finish that point there, Bill.
It's going to be tough for Shepherd to get those easy looks for McLean-Corley because, being the leading scorer of the team, Cal's going to be more focused in on him, so it's not always going to be easy. But you got to try.
Pass down low to Hall off his fingertips and out of bounds. So a slow start to the second half for both teams. 40-32, 19-10 to go in the ball game.
Both teams a little sluggish to start out.
Jordan trying to set up the offense, finds McLean-Corley on the left wing. Nearly taken away by McClurg, and now a foul underneath. And that one's going to go against Zion Collins. And Shepherd will take it again underneath the basket. So they've had the ball on this side of the floor It feels like the entire start of this early second half, but haven't had any points so far. Marcel underneath. Shot is no good. Tipped around and a foul against the Rams. I think that's going to go on Marcel.
Again, Marcel, that was a little bit of what we saw yesterday, very early in the game, where he was getting the looks that you would want. He just hasn't had the touch a lot of times around the rim.
They call it on Poffenberger. That's his first.
You know, Cal made 6 threes in that first half, but 5 of them were from Jermaine Hall Jr. If they can slow him down.
McClurg with the two-handed slam in the half-court offense. Ten-point lead for California.
A nice slam there for Bryson Lucas.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you're right. That was Lucas, not McClurg.
There's the rebound.
McLean Corley takes a dribble and can't make the three. Poffenberger underneath, finishes with the right hand.
Yeah, DC took a little too much of his time there.
Drive to the basket from Collins, no good, off of California, and it will be Shepherd possession as Whitehead tried to charge in and grab the rebound but couldn't get there.
Take away the stats for Jermaine Hall Jr., and Cal was only 1 of 4 from three-point range in that first half. Now, granted, you know, Hall was the big part of that. That's the big difference right now. Up by 8, and he has those 5 threes on 7 shots from downtown. But maybe if you close in on him, you can get back into this game and do better on defense.
Cooper's shot is short. Tough-looking opportunity there for Cooper. And California grabs the rebound.
Haven't loved the shot selection today for Cooper.
Here's Collins to the rim. Lucas, Bryson Lucas to the rim, and his shot is up and good, 44-34.
Now, Lucas only took 1 shot in the first half, and they're already making the adjustment, try to get the ball to him more.
Nearly knocks it away, does knock it away from Poffenberger. Poffenberger trying to recover it. Whitehead sliding on the floor, Cal all over the place. McLean Corley with the head fake, the drive in, and lost it on his way up. And it's a turnover for Shepherd. Some great hustle, though, by Cal on their side. And the Rams, looking a little sloppy here to start this second half. Just 2 points in the first 3 minutes.
It was a relatively clean first half for both sides. Only 6 turnovers for Cal and 5 for Shepherd. And only 4 fouls by Cal and 5 fouls by Shepherd. But different story early in the second half.
Collins off the Whitehead screen over to Lucas. Now Whitehead driving in. Down low to Lucas. And now a fadeaway jumper on the way is good from Jermaine Hall Jr. He's had himself a nice game. 46-34 our score.
Well, we saw that Shepherd had, let Cal get out to a similar lead to this early in the first half, and they were able to come back from it. We'll see if they can do it again.
Yeah, they did come back, but they never took the lead or tied it up, really. So,
yeah, they got it down to 1 or 2 points, so that was as close as they got.
Stephon Marcel with a good follow and put back. Makes it a 10-point game at 46-36. 16 minutes to go in the second half. Here's Collins. Drives in, kicks it out. Whitehead back to Collins. Three-pointer on the way. In and out, no good. Rebounded by Phillip Jordan. Jordan now with the drive. Dump down to Robinson, and his reverse layup is up and good. 8-point game. Touchdown pass down to McClurg, and he finishes the layup on the other end.
That was great vision on the inbound pass to notice that.
48-38, 15 and a half minutes to go in the ball game. Shepherd down by 10, but in possession. Jordan pulls up, extended elbow line jumper is no good. Pass that time intercepted by Phillip Jordan. He'll pull up for 3 on the 1-on-4 fast break, and it's no good.
I don't like that shot.
48-38 our score, still remaining that with 15 minutes to go in the ball game. There's a good move underneath, but a foul called against California. As trying to get to the rim there was Bryson Lucas.
Yeah, I think they're saying he threw a forearm as he was backing down.
Should be the under 16 media timeout, and there it is. 30-second break. Shepherd down by 10 at 48-38. This is Shepherd Rams men's basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new Bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs. Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
We welcome you back here to the Butcher Center. 48-38, California leads Shepherd. Nick Verzolini, Dylan Bishop here on the call. Our cameraman this evening, or afternoon, Aiden Sensabaugh, helping us out. And back in the studio, Colin McLaughlin. So, 10-point lead here for California, Dylan, with under 15 minutes left in this ball game. We'll see what Shepherd's able to do to respond here. It feels like they've been a little out of sync in this second half, really the entire game, to be honest. I mean, a few runs here and there, but Cal's done a great job on the defensive end.
Yeah, the Rams haven't sustained a rhythm at any point, really. It's been hard. It's been hard for them to find the open looks consistently. Get Marcus Banks back into the game. He had a nice first half. See if he can get something going. To have him and Phillip Jordan in at the same time, as McLean Corley gets a little bit of a rest, as he's struggled a little bit today.
There's Phillip Jordan with the basketball over to Robinson. Still feels like if Shepherd's going to pull this one out, they need Jordan and McLean Corley to heat up. Banks back in the game, see if he can provide a spark. Nice pass underneath, and a slam dunk from Michael Cooper. That might be the energy lift the Rams needed here, down by 8 with 14:30 to go in the contest.
We saw for the women's team a smaller lineup worked well for them. And you see a smaller lineup here. Banks, Jordan, and Cooper.
And Robinson out there as well. A lot of guards on the floor for the Rams.
McLean Corley and Poffenberger both on the bench, two of the taller three guys on this team.
At least see minutes.
Right.
Here's a three-pointer on the other end from Whitehead. That's off the mark. Rebounded by Banks. So Shepherd looking to run, use its speed to its advantage. Banks off the Marcel screen. He had good positioning underneath. Back out. Cooper drives in with the right hand, and he is rejected by K.J. McClurg. Might be a nominee for our rejection of the game here.
You see right now, Phillip Jordan at 6 foot, Marcus Banks 6'2", Michael Cooper 6'3", Gerard Robinson 6'4". So, and you got 6'5", McLean Corley, and 6'8", Carson Poffenberger on the bench.
Marcel 6'9", the other guy out there, the only true forward out on the floor for the Rams. McClure gets the steal, and he'll reset the offense for California. There's Collins with it. Now over to Whitehead. Working it around the perimeter in the hands of Arnett. Back to McClure. Left-handed drive into the basket. I thought he traveled, and he did.
That's the call.
Good defense there from the Rams. Still only down 8. It feels like at times Cal has kind of opened it up, but really Shepherd has not been down more than like 8 or 10.
I think this is a lineup that they need to take advantage of. I think I like the offensive potential of what Shepherd has out here versus the Cal defense.
Back to Phillip Jordan on the right wing. And now an offensive foul again against the Rams. I think that one also going against Marcel. It's the third offensive foul of the half for Shepherd.
Yeah, there was a few calls that Coach Namlick contested in last night's game, but so far in this one, Marcel's had multiple illegal screen calls, and both times he just kind of looked down in frustration and looked at Marcel like, no, you threw the forearm out there.
Here's Collins over to Arnett. His shot is up and good, and the foul. Antoine Arnett.
There's no need for that foul.
Very solid redshirt freshman. Seen a lot of good things from him. That'll make it a 10-point game at 50-40 with the free throw coming, and that is Marcel's third, I do believe. I'm sorry, Robinson was called. I just saw Marcel checking out, so presumed it was on him. But they're going to bring Poffenberger back in, so continue to go for more offense over defense here with the shooting that Poffenberger can provide. Haven't seen it a lot in these games that we've been at here, Dylan. Last year he was much more of a stretch four, now kind of developing into a 5 for this team. That's kind of where they need him.
Yeah, without Aiden Hewley, who's more of that pure inside center who sometimes takes threes, they need more of that inside presence from Poffenberger with his height.
Robinson toward the basket. Shot is up and good. Gerard Robinson with the basket. 51-42 our score. 12:20 to go in this second half. Rams down by 9, trying to get some energy here in the building. Swing it over to Collins, and that one rejected by Robinson. Rams working back the other way. Here's Banks in transition. He'll reset the offense. Gets into the hands of Poffensberger. Back to Banks. Driving baseline. Kicks it out. Jordan to Poffenberger. 3 on the way, but a foul called before that, so no shot. Rams underneath. Reset the shot clock out to 20 seconds. McLean Corley's coming back in. Rams looking for a spark. Under 12-minute media timeout. 51-42 our score. Will take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams men's basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
We welcome you back to the Butcher Center. Shepherd trailing 51-42 to California. Nick Verzolini, Dylan Bishop, happy to have you with us. Under 12 media timeout here, Dylan. McLean Corley's coming back in. This is when it feels like to me, if Shepherd's going to come back and win this thing or get back into it, they need him to heat up. They need to heat up on the offensive end.
Absolutely. And I noticed that on that play that right before that timeout, that Carson Poffenberger seemed to be pointing to some, I think he had some tightness in his hip, and he's checked out of the game, and he was just getting stretched out on the trainer's table, and now it looks like he might be going back into the locker room.
Yeah, I mean, we saw earlier I actually noticed earlier he was getting checked out by the trainer. It looked like when he went for that ball in the backcourt, if you remember that moment, diving on the floor.
He may just be stretching out against the wall right outside of the gym.
That could also be it, but it looked like he might have injured something or something was bothering him at least a little bit, so they've been looking at him for a little while now. McLean Corley attacking the basket, pulling up and missing the jumper. Rebounded by California. That is Antoine Arnett again, grabbing a rebound and securing the possession for the Vulcans. Whitehead off the screen. This is an opportunity, it feels like, with not a whole lot of the starters out there for Cal, for possibly a Shepherd run. Drive and dish out to 3 for Alexander. That shot is way off. And a foul going to go against Arnett.
The Cal bench isn't very happy with it, but I'm not really sure why. It seemed like a fair call to me.
Yeah. I suppose they are potentially arguing that he didn't make any contact on his way up, but I thought he might have gone with like his left arm or so. But Shepherd possession here, under 11 minutes to go. Banks trying to drive in, trying to set something up offensively. Takes a difficult shot and knocks it down. Good move from Marcus Banks to open it up. And it's back down to a 7-point game.
The pump fake got his man up in the air, and he was able to step through for the floater.
Here's Alexander. Back over to Arnett. Top of the key, Collins. Whitehead drives in, pulls up from the elbow. No good. Rebounded by the Rams. Banks again grabbing a rebound and trying to get his offense going. Philip Jordan, it's been a quiet game for him and McLean Corley, but Shepherd's still in it here at 51-44. Jordan bounce pass to McLean Corley for three. No. Just long and no good. Robinson just barely avoided touching that one as it's off of the Vulcans and will be Rams basketball.
I think McLean Corley needs to get to some spots to get himself some open looks. The contested shots aren't falling so far today, and obviously he's a guy that you want to tell to just keep shooting, but he hasn't made a whole lot of an effort today to find open shots.
Yeah. That's a good point, though. It doesn't seem like he's really gone to the basket much. A lot of jumpers that he's settling for. Here's Banks' shot off the front of the rim, no good, as shot clock was winding down. And overall, it kind of feels like some ISO ball for Shepherd.
There's defensive effort from DC.
Jordan into the lane is blocked by Whitehead, and the possession stays alive. Great play from Whitehead. Here's Cal back the other way. The three-pointer, no good. Rebounded by the Rams. Marcel will slow it down with the 2-on-3 fast break. Allow some time for his teammates to get back down the court, and Shepherd will reset its offense here. Down by 7, 9 minutes to go in the contest. Banks dribbling with the left hand. Over to Jordan with the corner three, and that's good. That time Shepherd with a catch and shoot, and they knock it down. It's a 4-point game. We got a timeout. Shepherd, 51-47. Let's take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams men's basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
We welcome you back here to Shepherd University, Shepherd men's basketball. Our second half also presented to you on TV 10 by Ollie's VIP Northside, the best local spot. Just catch sports or hang out with friends. Stop by 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. Ollie's VIP will see you for the game, as well as the Larry DeMarco team at Modern Realty Results. If you're looking for a home in the tri-state, they have you covered. Shepherd down 4 here, Dylan. Right back in it with the Philip Jordan corner three, and that was a good look for the Rams, catch and shoot type situation, and they were able to convert on it.
That's the type of stuff that they needed to do. Philip Jordan, that time, he was able to lose his defender a little bit and find himself an open shot from the corner.
And Banks got it to him, so Shepherd going with this lineup of Banks, Marcel, Robinson, Jordan, and McLean Corley. Besides Marcel, pretty much all guards out there, and even Marcel, you know, a guy that can handle the basketball for a big guy. Here's Whitehead off the screen. Kind of allows him to switch a lot of different things, and stepping out of bounds there was McClurg on the sideline, so Shepherd gets the possession back.
And Cal's starting to slip up a little bit.
They haven't. It feels very much like the first game we saw today in the men's and women's, or in the women's contest, where Cal just never quite put Shepherd away. Shepherd just came up short in that women's game. The difference in the talent is on a little bit closer margin between the men and the women's games. But either way, Shepherd has battled and stayed in these ball games today. And you'd like to walk away with at least one win on the men's side if you can.
Right.
Collins. Over to Hall. Hall drives in with the reverse layup. No good. Rebounded by Collins. His shot is no good, and it's out of bounds. It will remain California basketball. Marcel a little bit slow to get up.
We hope. Well, I mean, Poffenberger's at least back over on the bench, so hopefully he just needed some stretching out from the training staff, and he can come back in at any time.
Yeah. I mean, you need his depth at the very least.
Marcel's played well today. He led the team in scoring in the first half. He had 10 points.
Yeah, it's not so much that you need him over Marcel or anything, but
you just need all of your guys. That's the thing.
You only have 6 guys out there that have been, if Poffenberger's out, but with him sitting on the bench, he looks like he's ready to go. You've only used 7 guys back-to-back days. Can get tough here. Final 8 minutes of a game that's been pretty physical, and it's another tough PSAC opponent. 51-47. California still on top as they clear up the floor a little bit. Here's a wild-looking shot, and it's good from Collins, and the foul. Zion Collins, very impressive 6'4" guard, redshirt senior from South Riding, Virginia. 53-47. California on top. Under 8 media timeout, right at 8 minutes to go. This is Shepherd Rams men's basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube back in 30.
Finally, West Virginia is moving in the right direction. As your West Virginia Senate President, Craig Blair has passed the most conservative legislative agenda in the nation. He has fought for our values like banning elective abortions, protecting our Second Amendment rights, and prevented boys from playing in girls' sports. Senator Craig Blair championed the largest tax cut in the history of our state. Craig Blair, a strong conservative leader. Promises made, promises kept. This election, vote for Republican Craig Blair for State Senate. Paid for by the committee to re-elect Craig Blair.
53-47, 8 minutes to go in the contest. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Dylan Bishop. Aiden Sensabaugh on camera, back in the studio, Colin McLaughlin. Dylan, still a very close game. We're going to have a free throw here momentarily from Zion Collins after that wild shot, but final 8 minutes. Shepherd down 6. What can the Rams do to pull this one out, do you think? Is it still kind of the same story, do you feel like?
I think so. I think that it's really just been the story of not being able to find a whole lot of easy shots with the Cal defense. These are very athletic defenders that the Vulcans have. So they need to find those shots and just be consistent on defense as well.
So Collins to the line to shoot one, trying to convert this and one. And it is up and good. So 54-47. Again, back out to a 7-point game. Just under 8 minutes to play in the contest between Shepherd and California.
Shepherd has held Jermaine Hall Jr. pretty much in check for most of the second half at least.
Banks driving in. Tough shot, no good. Rebounded by McClurg into the hands of Whitehead, and he'll bring it across the timeline for the Vulcans. Up by 7 with 7.5 minutes. Cooper getting ready to check in for the Rams at the next stoppage of play. Cross-court pass, open 3 on the way is good from KJ McClurg. He's had himself a nice game.
Yeah, it was a nice screen by Arnett as well. Phil Jordan couldn't really get around it in time.
10-point lead now for California. Philip Jordan off the Marcel screen, lost control, but a foul called.
I guess they'll say that was on the floor. I think Jordan was trying to throw that up at the rim, potentially after he knew he was fouled.
Robinson checks out for Cooper. Shepherd looking for some sort of offensive spark, being held at just 47 points here with just over 7 minutes to go in the contest. Pass out to Banks. Inside to Marcel. He has the size advantage. He goes up strong and finishes off the glass. Stephon Marcel doing a good job in the post today. That's been a bright spot for the Rams, but not much from their two stars, Phillip Jordan and McLean Corley, so far. Whitehead is wide open for three, and he makes the Rams pay. With a wide open triple, 60-49.
Someone just lost their man, miscommunication, switching a screen, I think, off the ball.
A lot of dribbling from Jordan. Off the Marcel screen. Driving baseline over to McLean Corley. 10 on the shot clock. McLean Corley double team down to Cooper. Banks resetting now. 5 on the shot clock. That's going to be an offensive foul.
Yeah. Definitely.
Good positioning from McClurg. And Banks just extending that arm. At 60-49.
There's no motion in this offense. It feels like it's just we're doing a lot of standing around and just not. I need some screens to open guys up for open shots or something.
Yeah, it's a lot of watching everybody else try to beat their man one-on-one. And that's been
the air out of the
honestly
ball.
an issue for a while with Shepherd at times. Like, they seem to go into ISO ball every once in a while, and yes, you have guys that can win one-on-one.
It's mainly just McLean Corley that can do that, and he has even struggled with that today.
Yeah, I think Jordan can at times as well, but trying to win that way all the time just doesn't work, especially when you're at this level, and even those guys that can do it aren't going to do it on every possession and win. You don't have prime Jordan out there.
Right. We have Phillip Jordan instead.
Yeah.
And let's face it, they're playing a team that's better than them. A more talented team than them, at least. Deeper, yes. The talent runs deeper on this team. So a lot of times you have to work scheme and strategy to beat a team that's better than you. Unless they're having an off night, which Cal isn't so far. So it needs to be more of a finesse game when that happens. You can't just blow by guys and shoot contested shots over them because the defense is better, the offense is better.
McClurg to the line to shoot 1-1 as that's the 7th foul on Shepherd. Shot is in and out, no good. Rebounded by McLean Corley.
6 fouls in this half on Cal too, so next foul on them will lead to 1-1 for the Rams.
McLean Corley goes into the lane, step back, shot, fade away, no good. Banks crashes the offensive glass. Back to McLean Corley for 3. Shot just not falling for him today.
Nope.
Not really falling for anybody on the Rams side, but there's a tie-up. I feel like both guys kind of ran into each other. Hall on the reverse layup, no good. And Shepherd gets the ball back. Banks, McLean Corley, all day to shoot it. Took some time, and he knocks it down. Big one there for McLean Corley. Shepherd not out of it at 60-52 with just over 5 minutes to go.
I think part of the struggle with McLean Corley today has been he hasn't been getting himself those open looks to get himself into a rhythm. So it ends up being that once he gets a lot of those open shots, he's been missing a good bit of them, but he knocked that one down, luckily.
I mean, give a lot of credit to this California defense.
Definitely.
Whitehead, step back, Jay, tough one on the way, no good. McLean Corley rebounds. Now looking to work. He can get hot at any moment. Phillip Jordan with the basketball. These guys could heat up here. Shepherd could get back into it. They played well on the defensive end, holding this County into just 60 points so far with 4.5 to go. But the problem is the Shepherd Stars haven't had any offensive consistency. Here's Banks to the rim, off the glass and good. 6-point game again here inside the Butcher Center. Rams fans on their feet.
And Robinson was going to check in, but he got pulled back onto the bench after that score by Banks.
Yeah, I feel like you need the Banks offense here down the stretch. Tough one from Arnett, and he finishes 62-54. Under 4 to go. Shepherd with Phillip Jordan driving baseline. Jordan kicks it out. Cooper open 3 on the way. Good! Michael Cooper from way downtown knocks it down. Great ball movement there.
Great job by Jordan. Get inside and then find the better shot rather than just going up for it himself.
Arnett, he's been tough today. Arnett inside and out-muscles Marcel for the layup. 7-point game still. Shepherd back the other way.
Arnett's seemed like that one guy that can match up with Marcel on both ends of the floor, and he's done a great job of it.
Jordan back to Cooper. Thought about the corner three.
Oh, he should have passed it back to him.
McLean Corley, difficult shot is no good. McClurg comes up with the rebound. He has it poked away, but a bunch of Vulcans down on the floor. Now players getting tangled up and all sorts of guys down as Marcel was down in the backcourt. Now McClurg is down in the... Hit his head pretty hard, but I think he's all right.
The under 4 timeout.
Yep, under 4 media timeout. 64-57 our score. Shepherd trailing California. Can they find a way to come back here with exactly 3 minutes to go? Stay tuned and find out. This is Shepherd Rams men's basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
One of the questions lawyers get asked the most is, what is my case worth?
I'm Steven Skinner, and this is my brother Andrew with Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers.
The truth is, it's very difficult for a lawyer to pinpoint a number because every case is different.
We get to know each situation and we'll give you an idea of what your case is worth and why.
The sooner we get involved, the better we can do getting you the compensation you deserve.
Google Skinner Lawyers or go to skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Center, exactly 3 minutes to go in this one. Our score, it is California 64, Shepherd 57. Rams coming out of this under 4 media timeout. Nick Verzolini, Dylan Bishop, happy to have you with us. And Dylan, it feels like, again, like Shepherd's gotten it to 7. They've gotten it down to 5, 4, 2 at one point, but has really never quite been in it. I mean, there was that one run where they got it all the way down to 2 in the first half, at 34-32. And besides that, Cal's usually had a comfortable lead.
They have. It's just that Cal's really talented, and they're well coached. And Shepherd's been able to get their runs here and there, but consistently finding those open shots. On that last offensive possession for Shepherd, they ran kind of the same thing where they were able to kick it to Michael Cooper in the corner. I thought he had a pretty good look for 3 there that he ended up passing up and passing the ball on the wing to Banks. But then after that pass, Cooper was then wide open after the defender moved over to Banks. Banks, the freshman, didn't have the wherewithal to kick it back over to Cooper, give it right back to him for them what would have been a wide open 3 after Cooper had just made one.
Yep, little things like that can be the difference as Leclerc to the line here, knocks down the first, makes it 65-57. Again, 3 minutes exactly to go in this one. Second one is up and in and out, no good. Tipped around, an offensive rebound for Hall. Hall, as you mentioned, kind of a quiet second half offensively, but there with a big offensive board.
The time's running out for Shepherd.
10 on the shot clock.
Every possession matters at this point.
Arnett driving in. Collins that time. Drives in. Arnett with the follow. No good. Hall with the follow. The wave off the shot. And instead, should have free throws either way, but we'll see who's shooting them. It will be Collins to the line.
I'm confused as to why. I saw a referee flash up 2 as if he's shooting 2 shots. If that's the 9th foul on Shepherd and the foul doesn't count.
Well, there was 2 shots there going up as that Hall shot was on the rebound.
Maybe just a late, late whistle on the shot before.
As it is a shooting foul and a late whistle, I believe.
Yeah, since it's Arnett shooting, I think you're right.
No, now they're signaling 1-1, so I guess Cal is saying it should be 2 shots. Arnett now. This is going to be crazy if he misses it, right? If it ends up being 1-1. because he made that one. And this is also going to throw off his rhythm.
Yeah, it seems like the three officials are not on the same page for whether this is a 1-and-1 or if it's just 2 shots.
California head coach Danny Sancombe thought he had 2 shots. Then he saw, like I saw, the official signal for 1-and-1. Now the baseline official signals for 2 shots. First one is no good.
Well,
That
hope for
hurts.
the official's sake that Cal does not lose this game by 1 point, because they will get an earful from the Cal coach if so.
You have to remember it. He made the first one, so even if it was 1-and-1, he got 2 anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Arnett makes the second, though. 66-57. He's going to be saying, Coach, you messed up my rhythm.
Exactly.
You owe me a point. Philip Jordan with the basketball. Off the Marcel screen. Jordan, ISO ball, kicking out. There's that Cooper open corner 3, and it's no good. Rebounded by Collins.
They're just kind of running out of possessions to get back in this game at this point.
That's why I think we saw the 3. That would have made it a 6-point game if it fell. With just over 2 minutes to go in this one. Whitehead being guarded closely by Banks. Shepherd could use a turnover here. Banks gets the poke. It will stay with Cal with just 6 on the shot clock.
But you've at least made it hard on them now. They got to inbound with 6 seconds, so there's not much offense they can run.
Yep, in their own backcourt as well. Whitehead attacks the basket and a whistle.
I'm not sure if the clock started.
Yeah, and only 5 on the shot clock, so I think the shot clock didn't start in time. Probably the game clock as well.
Yeah, I think that was a problem on both ends there.
1:54 to go, but we'll see if they put a second back on and just kind of reset. Kind of stinks for Cal, too, because I thought they were maybe going to get a layup there. But now we've had this long delay as well, and what has...
So they got 150. They've moved the
they
game
moved
clock
it
to
down
151, and 3 seconds on the shot clock. So
that kind
boy, that's a tough break for Cal. And they're taking a timeout to deal with it.
Well, 66-57, 151 left. Take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams men's basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from 1 location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
We welcome you back here to the Butcher Center. Shepherd Rams men's basketball also brought to you in part by Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer, located at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg, or online at Orsinis.com, as well as Craig Blair for State Senate, the Eastern Panhandle's first and only Senate President and Lieutenant Governor, a fiscal and social conservative who's making West Virginia great again by cutting taxes and creating jobs. Let's re-elect Craig Blair in 2024.
Steal by Marcel on that end of that possession.
Jordan, an open corner
Need
3.
it.
Good! And it is a 6-point game. You mentioned it, Dylan. They needed it, and they got it on the good-looking shot from Philip Jordan. So still a chance here with 1:36. We'll keep it here. In this situation here, you have the 29 seconds on the shot clock, 6-point game. So you're going to play out this possession, I would think, if you're Shepherd, and try to force a turnover here off the inbounds.
Yeah, Cal should take their time with this possession. not getting into any offense too quicker than they need to. But yeah, you're not in a situation where you need to foul quite yet. If you were to give up a basket and or not get a basket on your next possession down, that might be the situation where you start thinking about a foul, but you wait until you see the clock situation in that case.
Yeah, and you would imagine here Shepherd's going to pressure man-to-man, try to keep Cal on their toes. Maybe you can get a steal or something.
See if they go full court with it.
I think you think about it, you could definitely.
What it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well, right? I mean, even if you get beat over top, it's like you're down 2 possessions anyway. So you're kind of needing some turnovers and to up the tempo at the very least. Whitehead catches in the backcourt. Jordan tried to get the tip. Cal breaks that press with little to no difficulty, and now a foul called, and didn't necessarily need the foul. It's not going to be 2 shots for Whitehead. That's 10th.
Interesting. It's kind of the opposite strategy that Coach Kaufman went with in the women's game, where it didn't try to extend the game at all with fouling at all.
Yeah.
When it was, about a 5-second difference between the shot and game clock down by 1. And Amlich's going, sending Cal to the free throw line early.
Right. I kind of thought they would play it out, and until you get to that final minute, that's when you see the foul.
Right.
If you're able to make it a 3-point game. But, well, if you're able to make it a 3-point game, then you don't need a foul at all. But
right.
Now you get it for the early extension of it. That's a way to do it as well. So either strategy could work. We'll see how it plays out for the Rams. Down by 8 with 1:25 to go. McLean Corley pulls up for the 2-pointer. He knocks it down, back to a 6-point game. So maybe that foul wasn't what they wanted there. And maybe they just got caught reaching.
I think that's kind of what it seems like now.
Shepherd trying to trap here, down by 6, a minute to go. You can still play defense here. No reason to foul. Good D from the Rams. McLean Corley's going to get caught trying to go for that steal with 15 on the shot clock.
Now you kind of have reached the fouling point. Now that you've sent them to the line, down by 6.
Yeah.
Under a minute left. From here on out, that's the kind of thing that you're going to have to get.
Yeah, if you could have got a stop, though, with the 15 on the shot clock, you would have had about 40 seconds for a quick possession. Maybe you make the 3, and then you don't need to foul again. But instead here,
it was probably more of a scenario where you're saying play defense aggressively.
Yeah.
If you foul, it's not the end of the world.
Right.
Extend the game out.
They wanted a steal there. McLean Corley was going for it. It was a good opportunity to possibly get one. Just didn't quite make the steal. So Whitehead to the line. He'll miss the first. And hey, if they miss, then even better. You saved about 15 seconds.
Yeah, there you go.
Now at the very least, you trade a 2-for-1 possibly here, or even a 3-for-1, as he did knock down the second there from Whitehead. Arnett's going to check out. Checking back into the game is Lucas. And Rams will try to go quickly here. Jordan into the front court. Dribble handoff of McLean Corley. Head fake. Try to use your teammates as well here. Jordan drives in, gets fouled. That'll be 1-1 for Shepherd at a 7-point game with 46 seconds to go.
If you're Cal, obviously you're not going to do it on purpose.
Right.
But taking fouls at this point, especially since it's only a 1-1 instead of 2 shots, works out in your favor. Because then at that point you're saying, let's just go back and forth 2-2 the other way.
Jordan got the friendly home court roll there, 69-63. This to make it a 5-point game with 46 left. Again, Shepherd has to foul as that one's through. And trying maybe not to foul Whitehead. And they end up getting a steal, so good call there to not foul right away. McLean Corley now into the front court, trying to set up the offense. Down by 5, 30 seconds. McLean Corley, foul against Cal. That'll be 1-1.
I mean, you can take that.
Yeah.
McLean Corley was driving to the lane to shoot a two-pointer. Now he gets the potential for 2 free throws if he doesn't miss the first one now.
Timeout burned by, I believe, California. At 69-64, 28 seconds left. So let's take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams men's basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Free throws up and good as we welcome you back here. 69-65. Quick timeout there. 28 seconds.
I think Cal might have just wanted to try to ice McCorley a little bit.
And he does make the second, so it's a one-possession game all of a sudden at 69-66 with 28 seconds to go. Rams fans getting into it. McClurg off the inbound, tough D from the Rams, and they're going to call a foul on Shepherd. The shot clock was off. In some ways, I think this is kind of beneficial, Dylan. You get to save a little bit more time. I think maybe the Rams wanted one more pass, see if they could get a steal, but they end up getting the foul. Doesn't hurt too bad, though, because like I said, 26 seconds, if something were to happen where it ends up being like 14, 13 seconds and they get the 2 free throws to go through as well, then it could be tough. But you're hoping for at least one miss here if you're Shepherd. You get the first one to go, 70-66. McClurg has had a really good game in his return to the Mountain State. The former University Hawk. And now California, Vulcan. Second free throw rattles home. It's a 5-point game. Banks off the inbound. Shepherd trying to go quickly, trying to get a good shot here. Banks into the lane. Up and in. 19 seconds left. It's back to a 3-point game. Rams burn the timeout. Dylan, it remains that same kind of strategy. Shepherd can maybe play for 2 passes, a pass off the inbound, and then the second one where you try to get the steal. You can't get a steal, you got a foul.
Yeah, Cal's going to keep giving you the 2-point shot. They're going to mostly try to avoid you making threes, so they can try to say, you know what, you can get your 2-pointers on the way back, but then as long as we don't turn the ball over, you're going to foul us and give us 2 free throws. So they'll play the 2-and-2 back and forth, and hope that it works out for them. And yeah, at this point you need a steal or a missed free throw, but really you want that turnover so you can try to get it, get that ball back real quick, get those 2 points up, try to make it a 1-point game, and then
get an open 3 and tie it,
or even that. Yeah, but simplest scenario probably would be to get that 2, and then once you get to that point where you have the ball and you're in a 1-possession game, let's say you get it to 1, foul them, they make the 2 free throws, you get the ball down by 3, then you have the chance to have the ball and tie it up.
Or even they could miss the second, and then you're down by 2.
Exactly, yeah, you get yourself a missed free throw in here. At this point, it's Cal's game to lose when you're in situations like this because they need to turn it over, they need to miss free throws, but it can happen. Or they need to give up 3-pointers, which is really the main thing you're trying to avoid if you're Cal when Shepherd has the ball.
So we'll see here. 19.8 seconds. 71-68. California on top of Shepherd with possession of the basketball. Can the Rams force a turnover here on this inbound pass? It's into Whitehead. Whitehead gets doubled. Now they have to foul. Somebody's got to foul McClurg. They don't. They do now. Only burned 6 seconds, so not the end of the world.
Yeah, I don't think that was the guy that they wanted to foul. I think him and Whitehead.
Yeah.
Whitehead did miss one earlier, but I think there's a lot of good free throw shooters on this Cal team. So it's kind of pick your poison.
Yeah. McClurg makes the first. You're hoping at this point maybe you can trade a 3-for-2 type situation as well.
Yeah, at this point now that you got to start looking for 3-pointers for Shepherd.
Second one up and good. And then defensively, I don't really feel like you can go for the steal. You have to pretty much foul right away if you don't get it off the inbound pass. So
yeah.
73-68, 13 seconds left. We got a timeout. Let's again keep it here. I don't want to miss any of the action like we did miss a little bit, I think, of that shot on the McLean-Corley free throw earlier. But 73-68, Dylan. The other key thing is who's going to foul, because you're starting to get guys probably closer to 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's Phil Jordan with 4 now.
Yep.
So a lot of things going into this final few moments of the game, where it comes down to free throws, and can Shepherd make some shots, maybe get lucky, get a turnover? Who knows? And there's also the every once in a while 4-point play. That is always a factor.
And they've taken the freshman Banks off the floor and put in Gerard Robinson in his place.
Kind of interesting there. Banks has been playing pretty well, but maybe they like Robinson's jumper a little bit better.
Yeah.
Jordan into the corner for Marcel for 3. That shot's off the mark. McLean-Corley grabs the rebound, puts it up and in. Only 5
Need
seconds.
the turnover here.
Don't get it. Now they got a foul.
Yeah.
3 seconds. Crucial 3 seconds off the clock. I don't know, maybe McLean-Corley could have been approaching 5. I don't know if that's the case or what, but it felt like Shepherd. And of course, you can't get an intentional foul. That's the other thing. So you got to go for the ball with 2 seconds here, 73-70. Honestly, you could have argued that could have been an and one for Daniel McLean-Corley.
I was thinking that too. I don't think it was a foul. I think there was
some contact.
There was definitely some contact.
But it wasn't more forced on the offense.
There was a little bit of a question in my mind. Like, are they going to blow the whistle and give it to him as the shot was going up? But I think it was fair to not blow the whistle there.
Yeah.
But even if you did, it would just have been one more point, and still Cal, has.
Well, you might have even intentionally missed.
You probably would have. Yeah. Probably would have. Yeah. That's a good point.
Trying to get the rebound. There's a lot of stuff you got to consider throughout the course of a tight game here down the stretch.
Now you need Cal to go 0 for 2, which is not very likely with the way that they've shot the free throw so far.
Especially because it's going to most likely be a full court heave here for Shepherd if they do miss 2. So in a scenario where maybe you still have time to dribble up the court, maybe you can get a 4-point play at the buzzer.
Oh.
But, I mean, that's not super likely, but it has happened. I've been on the call for one from John Elmore against UTSA. Nobody remembers that game except for me, but that's all right. And that's going to end it. So 73-70, our final score, as California gets the win. Ends up being a little bit closer than maybe it truly was, as Shepherd never really took the lead late in the game or got it super close late, but they battled against a really good Cal team, Dylan, but it's a tough loss, I feel like, as the game was within reach for Shepherd. They could have maybe pulled it out, and also the fact that they go 0-2 to start PSAC play is the biggest thing that you take away from the weekend.
Yeah, it was 2 tough opponents. It's probably 2 of the tougher defenses that they'll face throughout PSAC play in Seton Hill and then Cal here today. And Cal just overall is a really talented team. They're one of the best in the PSAC pretty consistently. So, I think you're not satisfied with the fact that you lost this game because it feels like you could have played a lot better. But I think if you were just look at the box score and say, hey, Shepherd only lost to Cal by 3, you'd say, you know what, you take that because it's one of those things where you're, again, playing one of the best teams in this conference.
I feel like, though, Shepherd, with everything that's coming back for this team, I know they lost St. Healy. I feel like they're past the point of the moral victory status. Like,
you could say that.
Yeah, Cal is a really good team, and But, I mean, Shepherd has a lot back. They have a lot of experience now on this team. I feel like they kind of want to get to the point where they're beating these teams and winning these competitive games and finding a way.
That's definitely fair. But I think that you have some positives to take away from this.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, they definitely could have played better, and I think that with some better performances from a few guys in a few different areas, they definitely could have won this game. I think McLean Corley had a pretty tough day shooting the ball, and you're a little frustrated, but I think it's in a way that it's because you see the potential that this team has, and they just weren't able to hit it today.
So we'll take a break. We'll go 2 minutes, but if we don't need 2 minutes, Colin, you can let me know, and we'll come back a little bit quicker. But this is Shepherd Rams men's basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We'll go 2-minute break, and then we'll have the Palace Lounge postgame show.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
We welcome you back here to the Butcher Center on the campus of Shepherd University. Nick Verzley, Dylan Bishop here on the post-game show. Back in the studio, Colin McLaughlin. Dylan, let's hop into this post-game show. Brought to you by the Palace Lounge, located on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials in a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. Were you able to get post-game stats? Or
Not yet. I'm sure
okay.
that the stat department will get those over to us eventually here. Although they might need to deal with their PA issue first. I don't know.
Yeah,
although those are different departments, but someone's got to deal with that issue. But it is a bit of a frustrating loss. But again, you like the potential that they showed here today against a really good Cal team. But they just didn't play some of their best game. McLean Corley was kind of cold from the field, and they had some turnovers here and there, some missed opportunities.
Yeah, so let's get into our awards, and we'll see if we're able to get the stats by the time we're done with these. But we'll start with the rejection of the game, brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg, family-owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced certified technicians. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page. Dylan, what do you got there?
Give it to Gerard Robinson. Funny enough, just looking at our first half stats here, Shepherd had no blocks in the first half, but it was with 12 minutes left in the second half. Gerard Robinson had himself a nice rejection. And Shepherd played some good defense today. Just, it wasn't quite consistent enough for them to get the W.
And then, what about the moment of the game? Brought to you by WVU Medicine, Berkeley Medical Center, and Jefferson Medical Center, leading healthcare here and everywhere.
As close as the second half was, I feel like the three-pointer at the buzzer at the end of the first half by Jermaine Hall Jr. Was kind of a testament to kind of how this game went, where it felt like Shepherd pulled within for part of the game, and then for that last minute of the half, Cal just pulled it back from, pulled the rug out from under them when it seemed like they were in the process of making a comeback. So I think that, Hall had himself a quieter second half, but that's just the moment in my mind that sticks out for sure.
And then finally, Dylan, your player of the game, brought to you by Kelly Allstate Insurance. For all of your insurance needs, call Gary Kelly at 304-263-4596 or stop by 724 Lakeview Drive in Martinsburg.
I may have to give that one to KJ McClurg. I think it's a tough decision because if you say who's the player of the first half, it was definitely Jermaine Hall Jr. But with his 5 3-pointers that he had, and maybe if we were to get the full game stats in front of us, I would feel differently. But it felt like McClurg was one of those guys. He hit a lot of big free throws during the stretch of the game, and he was pretty consistent throughout the game. He was the second leading scorer at halftime for the Vulcans, and then had himself a nice second half to go with it. So I'll go with KJ McClurg.
I like that pick. I thought Antoine Arnett had a good impact on the game as well.
He's definitely an honorable mention for sure.
But I think McClurg definitely a good pick. It just felt like when they needed some big shots, he was able to knock them down. And like you said, the free throws toward the end. So I think if we had the final numbers, we would confirm it. Fortunately, we don't have the final numbers. But, hey, maybe you're just a vibes guy now, Dylan. You don't have to be all about stats all the time.
I spend so much of my energy doing the stats during the football games for Martinsburg because we don't get, obviously, the sort of, computer live stats that we get with Shepherd, or, we get the runners from the SID department over here for Shepherd. But, sometimes it's a vibes-based game,
I like those vibes. So let's wrap it up here from the Butcher Center in Shepherdstown, West Virginia, as the Rams fall in both games. In women's basketball 63-60 and men's basketball 73-70. Or I'm sorry, women's game was, is that right, 63-60?
64-63.
64-63. Okay, yeah. I thought it was closer, but I couldn't remember the exact score there, so I apologize for that. But we'll wrap it up again for Colin McLaughlin back in the studio. Aiden Sensabaugh, our cameraman, helping us out here today, and Dylan Bishop. I'm Nick Verzolini saying so long here from the Butcher Center, and have a good rest of your weekend, everyone. This is
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
WV Medicine is pleased to introduce 8 new providers who've joined University Health Associates East and our medical staffs at Berkeley Medical Center and Jefferson Medical Center. Dr. Hafiz Subair and Dr. Casey Martin, Pulmonary and Critical Care. Dr. Kyrie Horsley and Dr. Alan Tenzar, Podiatry. Dr. Layla Elder, Family Medicine. Dr. Jack Gelman, Plastic Surgery. Dr. Brianna Barr, Hospitalist. And Dr. Jonathan Moss, Family Medicine and Transitional Care. Welcome to WVU Medicine.
One of the questions lawyers get asked the most is, what is my case worth?
I'm Steven Skinner, and this is my brother Andrew with Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers.
The truth is, it's very difficult for a lawyer to pinpoint a number because every case is different.
We get to know each situation and we'll give you an idea of what your case is worth and why.
The sooner we get involved, the better we can do getting you the compensation you deserve.
Google Skinner Lawyers or go to skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Finally, West Virginia is moving in the right direction. As your West Virginia Senate President, Craig Blair has passed the most conservative legislative agenda in the nation. He has fought for our values like banning elective abortions, protecting our Second Amendment rights, and prevented boys from playing in girls' sports. Senator Craig Blair championed the largest tax cut in the history of our state. Craig Blair, a strong conservative leader. Promises made, promises kept. This election, vote for Republican Craig Blair for State Senate. Paid for by the Committee to Re-elect Craig Blair.
Welcome to the And One post-game scoreboard show on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube as Shepherd falls to Cal U by a final score of 73-70 to drop the Rams' opening PSAC conference games over the weekend. They lose yesterday and today, now 3-4 on the year. Let's take a look around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Final score, Mercyhurst 82, Kutztown 73. So Mercyhurst gets that victory. Looks like getting ready to become final is Millersville against Slippery Rock. That one down to the wire. It still says there's 3 seconds left, but haven't got an update. It's 69-66 Millersville in that one. 4 minutes, 30 seconds left in the second half. Gannon continues to dominate offensively and looks like they'll remain undefeated too. Gannon 108-83 right now over East Stroudsburg is the score in that one. Westchester gets a 81-70 win over Edinburgh. 98-82, Clarion gets a victory over Bloomsburg. 57-68, Mansfield defeats Pitt Johnstown and gets that victory. Shippensburg beat Seton Hill in comeback fashion, 71-64, and then IUP beats Lock Haven, 68-63. That's your final scores around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Again, for those that were looking for Martinsburg Bulldog football, they were state champions. Unfortunately, we did not have coverage of that, but the Bulldogs won 57-13 over Princeton, claiming its 10th state championship. That wraps things up here for Shepherd University Rams basketball. Again, the Rams fall 73-70 over California, PA, as Cal U sweeps the day in women's and men's hoops. This concludes today's coverage of NCAA Division II basketball featuring the Shepherd University Rams in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Our coverage was brought to us thanks to
Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, Rocks, the Dutch Miller Auto Group, the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, the Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Brown's Funeral Homes and Cremations, CMA Honda, Craig Blair for State Senate, Orsini's Home Store, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, the Berkeley County Health Department, Hagerstown Ford, Smallwood and Small Insurance, Modern Realty Results, Ollie's, The Palace Lounge, Bechtel Jewelers, Cody's Auto Body, WVU Medicine, Gary Kelly Allstate Insurance, and the Mountaineer Grill and Pub.
This has been a WRNR and TV10 broadcast. All rights reserved.